Whenever we see a car chase in a movie these days, we instinctively just think it's CGI, right? Well, a lot of the time it is, but equally, sometimes the crew will use hardcore stuntmen and women whose profession it is to drive at breakneck speeds without flinching, and we would rather it was them than us. Today, we are looking at some car chase scenes before CGI is added, and also some completely real ones. First up, we have an old classic, Speed. While technically not a chase at all, the scene in the Keanu Reeves classic Speed is about the bus that has to maintain a certain speed as it will blow up if it drops below it, and it's on our list because of the palm-sweating anxiety it brings. At one point in the movie, the bus is traveling along the bridge, but part of the bridge is missing. So how have they done this without actually making the bus jump? Well, CGI, of course. They have filmed the bus going along the bridge as it normally would, but slightly faster, obviously, without the bus actually jumping the gap at all. It doesn't even leave the road. The hole has been added in later on in the editing studio. Sneaky. What did you think of Speed? Next, we're talking Fast and Furious 5. Stay with us. No list about car chases in CGI would be complete without one of the Fast and Furious movies. In fact, any one of the ludicrous car chases from any of the 9 movies could feature, but we have chosen to go with the vault drag scene from 5. Before the CGI was added to brush up the scene, the 2 stars, Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, are seen breaking a safe out of a vault in a police station and then being chased through the streets of Brazil. Before CGI, the team had used a breakaway wall so the safe could break through easier. It was a real safe, by the way, and when the safe rolls onto concrete pillars outside the station and flips, that is all real. However, it was unplanned and no CGI was needed for that little effect. The safes were actually drivable, and inside them, the crew had welded a truck. This is insane attention to detail. While we know CGI makes things look better, and obviously CGI had been added to these scenes, the originals still look pretty cool. A scene with zero CGI now, stick around to find more. One of Quentin Tarantino's earlier works, Death Proof, features Kurt Russell and absolutely insane Kiwi stunt woman Zoe Bell. If you haven't seen this movie, you really should. The film follows stuntman Mike, who uses his car to murder young groups of people. He has kitted out the car with a roll cage and top-of-the-line safety features so he can withstand high-velocity impacts. In one wild scene, Belle and her friends are messing around, driving down a deserted road with Belle hanging onto the front of the car. As it would happen, Russell is lying in wait and decides to interfere with the girls. He rams them multiple times, all while going at full speed with Belle hanging on for dear life. You would be forgiven for wondering why the driver of Belle's car didn't just slow down and stop when Russell started the hijinks, but that would have been a bit boring now, wouldn't it? The girls finally get out of their sticky situation, and stuntman Mike gets into one, being beaten to death when the girls finally catch up with him further down the road. Gnarly. Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler joins us next. One of the best, most suspenseful movies on our list today, Dan Gilroy's neo-noir modern classic featuring one of the worst, in a good way, characters in recent memory. The guy has no boundaries in what he is willing to do to chase a story, and the word chase really is the key word here. The movie's climax sees Gyllenhaal's character Lou Bloom tailing his criminal targets who he wants a story on, and when they enter a cafe, he calls cops to tell them their location, filming from a distance so he can get the sensational story when the arrest goes down. Of course, it doesn't quite go as planned, and one of the targets gets away, who Lou decides to tail. Bloom is filming the whole thing, as well as his assistant, including the grisly smash at the end of it, where the suspect's car crashes and flips. The whole of this sequence features not one piece of CGI, which is quite remarkable in this day and age. It also happens to be one of the best car chases we've seen in forever, so top marks to the production team. What did you think of Gyllenhaal's character in Nightcrawler? Creepy, right? We couldn't mention car chases without the Blues Brothers. Stay with us. This one is not only on the list of many people's favorite car chases, but favorite movies overall. The chemistry between John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd is magic, and the brilliantly choreographed car chase at the end of the movie has gone down in folklore. The scale of this one is insane. The chase features over 40 stunt drivers and police vehicles, reverse backflips, and one ungodly pileup. Everywhere you look, there are cop cars slamming into each other, who are no match for the Bluesmobile. You will be shocked to find out that for all the mayhem in this one, it is 100% natural. No CGI whatsoever was used, which is crazy. Jake and Elroy Blues are eventually subdued, but not before what was probably hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage done. Bravo, chaps! Did you know this one was all real? Let us know below. 1989 movie Speed Zone, also known as Cannonball Fever, is up next. In this Jim Drake directed movie, there is a crazy scene where a Lamborghini appears to skip across a lake. What? Yep. Well, it turns out that the Lamborghini would have never been capable of this without a little help, shall we say. Never, we hear you cry. It's true. The crew brought in a specialty weighted car and made sure the lake was super shallow before filming, before adding a touch of CGI to make it look real. This scene was the subject of an episode of Mythbusters back in 2009, where the stunt was figured out. Of Of course, we had to have Drive featured on our list. It's kind of in the name. As you might have already figured out, this movie is all based around driving. Ryan Gosling plays a mechanic who moonlights as a getaway driver, and as you might imagine, there are a fair few chase scenes in this one. The one at the start of the movie is arguably the best, showing off the raw driving talent of Gosling's character. He has just picked up his employers after they've pulled off a heist, and the police are soon on his tail. The driver easily outruns the cops, dodging cop cars and regular citizens at every point throughout the chase. The movie and chase scenes are so well done that it's a testament to the creators it is even on this list at all, as it doesn't feature any over-the-top barrel rolls, nor does the car leave the road at all. It's all just magnificent driving. Well done, guys! What's your favorite Gosling movie? Next up is Mad Max 2, Road Warrior. Another one that could not be left off the list when it comes to car chases, and this one arguably sets the bar for all subsequent chaos after it. Mel Gibson returns as the protagonist, and the movie follows him as he goes on his quest for the liquid gold that is gasoline. The movie's climax comes with Max being chased around the wasteland of the Australian outback, featuring motorbike flips, guys jumping from one car to another, and all-round mayhem, basically. The piece de resistance of the chase was undoubtedly the tanker stunt at the end, where the tanker rolls over, destroying everything in its path. This unbelievable sequence featured not a single piece of CGI, which in 1981 was not used en masse like it is today. But still, a lot of movies would use it for stunts like this. Not these guys. The stunt driver of the truck was also not allowed to eat for 12 hours before the scene, in case he had to be rushed into emergency surgery had anything gone wrong. Wild. And finally, we have the legend that is Steve McQueen in Bullitt. This one literally paved the way for every chase movie that came after, even giving inspiration to the Mad Max series. It also helped that McQueen was a car and bike nut, so the production team had little to worry about. The king of cool regularly performed his own stunts, and Bullitt was no different. McQueen plays the titular character who has to look after a mob figure before he gives evidence against his former employers. Of course, the mafia are not going to take this lying down, and the climactic chase scene is one of the best in movie history, and with it coming out before the invention of CGI, there is zero suggestion of it being faked. With his head out the window half the time, probably to make sure fans knew it was actually him, McQueen swerved around corners, barely missed pedestrians, and showed why he was known as the coolest man in film. This one is a true cinema classic. What is your favorite McQueen role? Let us know below. As always, thanks for tuning in today, and remember to stop by next time. Why not share this video with any gearheads you know of?